Hey you guys, I am at beautiful Sandy Cove, which is on the Chesapeake Bay. I'm at homeschool week, which is a family camp experience that we've been doing now. I think this is our 9th year doing this and it's wonderful. While I wish I could take you guys out here, and I have some video footage that I filmed earlier of how really beautiful and peaceful and serene the grounds are. There are wall-to-wall people here, and this is somewhat of a mature content. I'm going to be talking about marriage. I'm going to be talking about sex and amping up the passion in your relationship. And so I honor the fact that people may not want their children walking up and overhearing that. And so I'm choosing to film this video in my room so that we can honor people's privacy. I wanted to come and talk about this on my channel because honestly, I feel like we can get this kind of advice from every other source than from the people that are supposed to be experts at it. And I feel like sex and passion between a couple is so much more celebrated before they get married. And you get the idea that once you get married, that kind of intensity just dies away. And you know, a lot of marriages seem to be somewhat sexless, and you hear that people have fallen out of love and their needs are not being met and people go their own separate ways. But I wanted to come here and say that you can have a passionate marriage and a thriving relationship with your spouse that just only gets better and better as you know each other better and better. If you follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, you may have noticed that my husband and I are celebrating 22 years of marriage, and we practically grew up together, you know. And so we posted, you know, a lot of couple shots on Instagram especially. So if you're not following me on there, go ahead and follow me so that you enjoy these pictures in real time. I really think it is so important once you're married to continue to date your mate, but I feel like that's the time when we feel the least motivated to make that extra effort. When I have a date night with my husband, I'm always thinking about, okay, what am I gonna wear? How, you know, what am I gonna do with my hair? What are my accessories gonna be? And I get kind of excited, but you know, if it was a long day, if it was a hard day, I mean, there have been times when it's been intense with the kids, and when the time for the date approach, I might say to myself, oh, I can just be comfortable. I can just throw some water on my face and, you know, I could keep this outfit on because after all, he has seen me with a scarf on my head and nothing on my face anyway. It will be okay. The most important thing is for us to just be together. It takes effort. I feel like, you know, it's no accident that passion is described like a flame and a fire that's burning. And you know, with any fire, you have to feed it. You have to feed it with wood or something flammable or it will die out. And it's the same thing with our relationships. I was at a family event and I was describing a date that my husband and I were going to go on. That person looked at me like, you still go out on dates? Haven't you guys been married a long time? Why are you still going out on dates? I feel like once you've gotten married, you need to do that more than ever, because there's a real danger of life only becoming all about what you're doing with the kids, or if you work with your spouse, all about work, or if you're in ministry, all about the ministry. I get teased sometimes about, you know, how dressed up I am, depending on where I go, because I live in a very casual community and culture, and in all honesty, that goes better with my personality. I like to be casual, I like to be comfortable, but my husband is very visual. They say most men are visual, but I know that my husband is very stimulated by what he sees, and if he's gonna look at me, you guys, give the man something to look at. And that doesn't always mean that you're going to hang everything out for the whole world to see, but I think that you can be comfortable, you can wear comfortable fabrics, but you can be fashionable and you can be cute as well. And you can also wear things that flatter your figure. So, I'm conscious of what areas of my body that my husband is attracted to. And, I highlight that. I dress in order to draw his gaze. And so in drawing his gaze, I really honestly never have a problem of getting him to be interested in intimacy or romance whatsoever. And so that's all of the time. That's when I'm home, hanging out and being comfortable. When we go out, I'm always conscious of how I look. And accessories matter. I try not to allow outside commitments and activities and even the children to stand in the way of prioritizing the time I spend with my husband. In different seasons, that's had to look different. Like when I had a nursing baby who wouldn't take a bottle, I really couldn't go very far for very long. And when my babies were really young, I had a hard time even separating myself from them. And that's something to watch out for. But I feel like there's also grace in that period as well, but still not to elevate the kids above the relationship you have with your husband, because realistically speaking, it seems like they're in our house forever, but the kids are going to leave. And then what's left? There are a lot of couples who have had kids leave and there's been nothing left in their relationship with their husband. If there's no effort being made to connect one-on-one, that will affect your libido as a woman, so sometimes there can be physical things going on. I know as we get older, as women, our hormones can go off and, even something physical like your thyroid failing, and all these things can affect, your libido, and it's completely physical and medical attention is called for. But I do think we also need to consider what we're doing practically on the relationship level to fan that flame. And it's not as if we don't know what to do, because a lot of us had no problems doing it when we were dating. We always wanted our partner to see us in the best light. We never gave ourselves a pass. No matter how hard things got, we didn't push each other off to the back burner. And the motivation was we wanted to get closer to that person. We wanted to entice that person enough so that they'd want to make it a lifelong partnership. But how tragic is it to think that once you're finally in that lifelong partnership, the passion is just dry and there's just nothing there. And I find that the more that I spend time with my husband and the more effort I try to make to connect with him on the day-to-day, the more passionate our sex life is. And as a woman, I've had to make it a priority. I've had to make it a priority to say that we are having sex. We need to have sex. It's important for us to have sex. And and not just once a month. And some people can say it's been even more than a month. And that's tragic, because I feel like culturally we understand that men are interested and it's necessary for them often. But I've learned that it's also necessary for me as a woman. It's a wonderful connection that I can make with my husband. Not only do I try to enjoy it frequently, I also don't taint that aspect of our relationship by using it as a weapon of punishment that, you did this or you did that, so you're not gonna get that from me now. And likewise, my husband honors me in understanding that if there's something going on between us that needs to be resolved, let's resolve that. Let's not disrespect each other by approaching each other physically when we know we've damaged each other emotionally, and we need to deal with that first. These are just some thoughts, and I would really like to continue the conversation in the dialogue box down below. Do you find that the longer you've been married, the drier things get? And what have you heard to help encourage you to make an improvement, because I really don't think that moving on to the next person is the solution. Because what are you going to do when you get to the next person and you've been with that person for a while and find yourself in the same position again? It's no wonder that there are people that have been married 3 and 4 and 5 times and counting. And I just think it's tragic, but I think we can be proactive toward getting what we want. So that's it for this video. I hope it helps someone out there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share my videos if you think they would help anyone. Be blessed.